What's going on, you guys? It's your Huggable Hipster here, and welcome back to another review where today we're going to be getting into the Matrix reviews. It's going to be a comparative review between Enter the Matrix and The Matrix Awakens, the new demo that came out to test Unreal 5. Oh, you guys, I'm so excited. Oh, by the way, look, did you guys see the lights in the background and everything? I'm thinking, now maybe this is just the caffeine talking because I'm talking very fast, I'm noticing this, but I'm thinking each game review that I do, I'll set the color in the background to match what the game is that I'm reviewing. So since The Matrix has like greens in it and all that kind of stuff, green background. Yes, let's get this bread. So 19 years ago, Enter the Matrix graced our screens and allowed gamers, young and old, to experience the movies in this world that became a cult classic, but in a more immersive way through video games. When you port a game originally made in 2003, now which is almost 20 years old, which still, it's mind-boggling to me that I experienced games that are that old. Like, holy crap. It's, I don't know if anybody else feels this way who's almost 30, but it's kind of a weird feeling, a weird sensation of whenever you're just like experiencing games that are like almost 20 years old and you got to experience them when they came out. It's just, it's mind-boggling to me. But like I was saying, when you originally have a game that was made in 2003 and then you port it over to PC from the year 2003 to 2022, things can get a little messy, to say the least. With Enter the Matrix, a mess and then some is what I encountered. While the memories flowed like wine and the nostalgia was strong and scented with happiness, there was just things that weren't all there. Meaning the game and all the parts that were supposed to work really didn't, besides some of the mechanisms and controls to move the character. Starting off, the mechanics were good considering the fact that the game itself is just, like I said before, almost 20 years old. You know, the mechanics were very good. Besides it being not reworked or having like a soft remake or anything like that, I was actually pleasantly surprised that the mechanics itself worked as well as they did. The cutscenes were there, but they had no audio, so you couldn't understand what anybody was saying. Like, they would play on the screen, but you couldn't hear anything. So since the cutscenes were there, but there was no audio, I had to try to remember what those blocky-faced angels were trying to say. And the bugs, oh, the bugs. They made me question humanity for a brief moment more than I would like to admit. Couldn't finish the game, sadly, but I'm not the least bit surprised because, you know, when you take a game like that without doing any major enhancements to it, a game especially that is almost 20 years old, you really run the risk of a lot of bad things happening, of where you don't get good audio, you don't get audio at all, you get bad mechanic work. I mean, just porting over a game to PC, that you just don't do that and it's done. Like, you know, there's a lot more that's involved in it. And I feel like that game itself was just ported over to PC without a second thought because the game was free after all on PC. Honestly though, a remake of this game would win the 90s babies over just incredibly. Like, you put a remake of Enter the Matrix out on Steam, oh my god. But the likelihood of a decent port being put out of Enter the Matrix is as likely as a new Silent Hill coming out or a remake of Blood Rain. Not gonna happen. So now let's compare that game that came out almost 20 years ago to the demo that came out recently for The Matrix Awakens, which is an Unreal 5 demo, and it's showcasing all of what Unreal 5 can do. Now, going from blocky face catastrophes to AIs that look undistinguishable from a human face, it's safe to say that the future of gaming is quite bright, even though those would probably say that, oh, it was always bright, Ariel, what are you talking about? No, there are things in gaming that we definitely need to work on, but with this test, viewing The Matrix Awakens, it's even brighter than I thought it was going to be ever. The industry is progressing quicker than I would have ever thought imaginable. I mean, this is, we're talking about 20 years later that this game came out. That's a 20-year comparison. That is not long at all to be seeing this kind of momentous progress that has happened. It's quite a short span of time, actually, if you think about it. The textures, the water spills, the faces, the movements, everything about this demo, it just feels right. It feels put into place correctly. It feels like the new age of gaming has come to finally greet us in the year of 2022. I can't wait to see if this demo leads way for a fuller new Matrix game because that would be really, really cool. There were a lot of characters that were in Enter the Matrix that were also put into this demo, which I find absolutely amazing that they paid homage like that. Comparing both of these games, it truly shows the progress and growth within the gaming world. Like I said, 20 years really isn't that long of a time. So when we look at games that are coming out now versus games like Blood Rain, for example, that came out back in the early 2000s, we really see how far we have progressed as, you know, just an entire industry. And I really love seeing that so much. And it's not just technology, you know, it's stories, it's voice acting, it's so much that has been brought into this industry that makes it just the beginning for photorealism and more games to be indistinguishable from the real world. But you guys, that is it for today's review. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and if you guys like my pace and what I do, please be sure to subscribe and hit the bell down below, because I make videos every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday on this channel, and then every Sunday on my lifestyle channel, Casually Ariel. But stay casually nerdy, you guys, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye.